I just want to share just a few little words that are used interchangeably in various Buddhist texts. Sometimes you'll find a chapter entitled, Developing Concentration. Sometimes the chapter will be entitled, Developing Mental Stabilization. Sometimes the chapter may be entitled, Training in Tranquil Abiding. And sometimes, training in absorption. Okay. So I always found this interesting, it's like, gosh, can't they be consistent? Can't you just come up with one term? But I've actually grown to really appreciate the variety because I find they each have a different little texture or nuance. Like sometimes when I hear a Dharma teacher say come on, Khedrub, concentrate. It's like coming in the imperative. And I have flashbacks to middle school where the teacher is saying, come on class, concentrate. And I'm like, yes, I need to train in concentration. It's got some edge to it. And sometimes we need that, don't we? When our mind's all over the map and you're like, come on, I'm out in the woods of this Buddhist temple. Come on, concentrate. So sometimes I need that little bit of a more edge or punch. Sometimes I really enjoy, the phrase that's used of training in mental stabilization. Training in the ability, to be more mentally stable. Not scattered, anxious, blown, in the wind, but a little bit more stable, like a deep ocean. Something that's a little bit more relaxed, not so blown, by changing conditions. So sometimes it's spoken about training in mental stabilization. And I'm like, oh, that sounds really pacifying and good. What I'm going to be teaching on this weekend is I'm going to be sharing some classic Buddhist teachings from a chapter entitled Training in Tranquil Abiding, the third of these three terms. So there's a whole chapter, dozens and dozens of pages on training in tranquil abiding in this longer Buddhist text called Joyful Path of Good Fortune that runs in at a good 700 pages. Sort of like an encyclopedia on anything you want to know about the Buddhist way of life, but it's got some really robust teachings. And in this text that I'll be teaching from this weekend, the chapter is entitled Training in Tranquil Abiding. So just check that out. Isn't that a nice image? I am training in just tranquil abiding, as opposed to tense abiding. I don't know how the pandemic has been for you, but anyone else just feel just really pressurized? Like so much coming at it. It's just I abide in a pressurized state. There's a lot of the pandemic experience for it, wasn't it? I can't do what I want to do. We're abiding tense. So here it's hey, how could we abide tranquilly? Training in tranquil abiding. And the fourth term that's sometimes used in some more advanced sutra text or teachings is a training in absorption. So if some of you have had a little bit of experience with meditation before, if every now and then you have a good meditation, once or twice a year, something like that, you maybe have a distant memory of there was this one time when I was meditating where it was really absorbed. It wasn't just I was still on the edge of my mind, but time was just passing by. And I felt sort of energetically really comfy and absorbed. I have no idea how that happened. I hope it happens again. I don't know what was going on in the cosmos that just caused that to occur. And then Buddha says, hey, there are some teachings on training in absorption. So these teachings we're looking at, they're all pointing us in the same directions, the same techniques, the same sort of encouragement. Buddha basically observed, we're not going to become still, concentrated, stable, abiding tranquilly, just by brute effort or force. We're a complicated psychological mess, okay? Sorry, I'm a complicated psychological mess. And like it just doesn't work to be like mind, quiet, absorb. It's like I'm way too complicated. There's like a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of ducking and defending and running and hiding. And is it like that for you a little bit? So we need more than just like, okay, concentrate, deeply absorb and relax. It's like, no. Like we need like these beautiful techniques that Buddha taught. To assemble different techniques, and then a human mind will be able to tranquilly abide, to be mentally stable, to be concentrated, like a very kind Canadian middle school teacher saying, concentrate.